Namaste all, hope you're well, welcome to your practice. This is part of the Arogya Series, formerly known as the Friday Reset, as we are gently blending back into normal classes, at the moment outdoor classes. Tomorrow morning will be outdoor, Friday Reset. So today we're close enough to the end of the week, so you could call it end of the week reset perhaps. This will be a slightly shorter practice, playing around with different timings. Many people have given positive feedback towards the 45-minute class. So we'll work with 45 minutes today. Being in a seated position or a lying down position, we'll work with our resonance breath, that even inhale and exhale, in and out through the nose, towards a count that's attainable for you without pressure or force. So choosing which is appropriate, I'll work towards the count of 5, but you can be at any of the counts on the way up. Lying down position or seated. If you're seated, adopt a mudra if you find like it's helpful. No matter where you choose to be, eyes closed and the mouth closed. I'm just taking a moment to arrive and to create space. And within this space we're endeavouring to create, we're not trying to push away or resist any thoughts. Instead we'll just encourage a shift of our awareness. As you take a moment to check in, how does the physical body feel? If you're tuning into this practice towards the end of the week, how has your week been? How is that influencing how the body feels? Once you've made your way through the physical body, no rush in doing so. Make a similar inquiry into the condition of the mind. Are you feeling energetic as you come to the end of your week? Feeling focused or aggravated, agitated? And with this attuned awareness, both physical body and mind, when you've truly checked in, will so help you draw the attention upon the breath. And be aware, you're welcome to remain or return to witnessing the breath at any moment. But if all is well, mentally preparing for a few gentle rounds of your resonance breathing. That intentional breath in and out through the nose, but no pressure or force. Only working to the count is attainable for you with ease. Breathing in, 2. Breathing out, 2. Breathing in, 2. Breathing out, 2. Breathing 3, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Breathing 4, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. And continue. Note that there's no pressure upon the breath. Not trying to fill up the lungs to maximum capacity. Focus more on a slower, more refined breath that's even from start of breath to finish. Lightly lengthen. At the end of your next exhale, release the effort upon the breath. And just witness for a moment. Return to witnessing physical body, mind, breath. If you're in a seated position, please do remain as you are. If you've come to any other variation, such as a lying down position, begin to stir, taking your time, not suddenly coming up. Roll to your side and then gently push up when you feel steady, adopting a seated position that's best for you. Namaskara Mudra, if it's comfortable, palms are lightly pressed. Take a moment to set intention, sankalpa, or dedication for your practice. Release your hands, chin towards chest, and a few gentle wings opening of the eyes. Namaste. Softly releasing the hands. And we'll gently come to standing. Take the time, there's no rush. Hand support as you need to. Smoothly come up to standing. Take the time. Excuse me. Once you're up, bring your feet about hip distance apart. Get hip distance apart as bony prongs at the front of the hips. They are located almost at the center of the thigh. Locating where these are, then draw a line straight down. And there's the center of your ankles, toes pointing straight ahead as best you can. Hands are on the hips. Awareness and your gaze comes into your feet if you feel steady on your feet. Raise all of the toes up off the mat. Just allow the breath to flow, then ground the toes. Raise all of the toes, and we'll endeavour to keep all of the toes up except the big toes come to ground. Big toes raise, big toes ground, big toes raise. Keep the big toes up as your second to little toe come to ground. Second to little toe raise, focusing completely on your feet. Second to little toe to ground. Second to little toe raise. Return the big toes and return the little toes, but as best you can, keep the three lads in between elevated. Beautiful, then ground in the three in between. Knees soft. All is well here if you need to. You can turn to a wall and have one hand to the side of the wall coming out to the side of the shoulder for balance. But if you're steady, lift the right heel. Focus on a point if you're not using wall support. Even if you are, please do. Raise the right foot up off the mat with a bent knee or a straight leg. Rotating through the ankle. 3 rotations in one direction. Allow the breath to flow. 3 in the opposite direction, but really slowing it down. Refining the movement where the intention is just the ankle that's moving. You're not swaying the entire leg. Beautiful. Come to rest with the ankle swing. Rotation even. Ground the right foot. Bend the left knee, lift the heel, raise the left foot up off the mat with a bent knee or a straight leg and out in front. 3 rotations in one direction. The intention is just ankle moving. How slow and steady can you work? A little talent in the balance also. Changing direction. Your breath is flowing. Beautiful. Once you've completed 3 in the opposite direction, regrounding the left foot. You can continue to use the wall support if necessary. If you're comfortable, you can use it without wall support. Hands on the hips, raise the right heel. Step the right foot a little back, excuse me, and flip the toes. Notice when you flip the toes here that your hips remain squaring and your shoulders are still over your wrist. You're not leaning back. If this is a challenge in the toes or the ankle, please mindfully apply. If you're familiar and comfortable, you can send your right foot further back. This increases the depth of the opening in the front of the foot. But little by little you build. Focus on the point to maintain the balance and wall support if you need to. Keep breathing. Where do you feel it? Beautiful. Smoothly with care bring the right foot back. Hip distance. Bend the left knee now. Raise the heel and send the left foot back small distance or greater distance, but you're keeping your hips squaring. Your ribs are back, shoulder over the hip. Notice the reaction now on the top of the left foot. Breathe. Superb, with care. Smoothly bring the left back. Make sure, as best you can, you're working towards that hip distance apart. Excuse me, toes pointing straight ahead. This is good, bend your knees. Go for a few rounds of bending your knees. And as you bend your knees, note the direction that your knees naturally want to go. Do your knees want to drop in toward each other as they bend? Do your knees want to drop out to the outer edges of the feet as they bend? Coming back to center, I will encourage you as best you can to bend your knees, and if they want to drop in or out, can you correct that and having your knees point in the direction of your toes. Beautiful. This movement will come from the thigh turning, so it's moving from deep within the hip. We'll go for a few steady rounds of the breath. As you exhale, bend the knees slowly to your comfortable edge. We'll have the knees pointing in the direction of the toes. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, focus in your knees, bending in the direction of your toes. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bending of the knee. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bending of the knee. Exhale, straighten. Spine is lifted. Feet wider now. So shoulder distance apart or a little wider. Toes pointing out, head, hands come to the hips. If you have any challenge in the lower back region, please work a little easier. Allow the breath to flow. Push your hips to your right, back, left, front, right, back, left, front, right, back, left, front, right, front, we'll change directions, left, back, right, front, left, back, right, front, left, back, and smoothly through the center. Releasing the hands, bringing the feet together, then coming to your wall. If you don't have wall support, you can also do this away from the wall. The intention is you're going to be about a foot's distance or so away from the wall. The feet are both shoulder distance apart or a little wider. Then lean the bum against the wall. Mild arch to the lower back is okay, but the intention here is the back of your ribs. The back of the ribs are connecting with the wall. If you have the space, as I have the space here, I can extend the arms out to either side. If necessary, your hands can be resting on your ribs. Now the intention here is to keep your hips where they are, but to glide the ribs side to side. The arms extended if you have the space. Keep the back of the ribs against the wall. Back of the head can be lightly against the wall, and you're gliding side to side. You can drop the gaze for a moment downward, and you note that there's no movement in your hips, that your ribs are gliding straight across. Note that you're not folding from the waist, not teapotting, you're keeping that glide straight across. If you're not at the wall, then it's a little more challenging, but you can also be here, keeping your hips steady, and a little glide side to side, feet steady, hips steady, think ribs moving, really checking in with your practice. Beautiful. Come to rest with your rib glide, and then release your hands if you've raised them. If you're at the wall, come away from the wall. Stepping back onto your mat, we'll bring the feet together into Tadasana, feet together, toes and heels a touch. Share that weight evenly in all directions as best you can. Now bending the elbows, elbows close to the body. If your shoulders are feeling fatigued, be here. All is well, extend your arms straight out in front. Beautiful. As you inhale, make a fist. As you exhale, release. As you inhale, make a fist with curled thumb inside. As you exhale, release. Inhale, make a fist with the thumb inside. Exhale, release. Inhale, make a fist. Exhale, release. Spread the thumbs, keeping the arms as they are as best you can, without moving through the arms or the elbow. As you inhale, turn the fingers outward. As you inhale, turn the fingers in towards each other, moving with the wrist only. Inhale, fingers outward. Exhale toward each other. Inhale out. Exhale toward each other. Next inhale, back to center. This is good. As you exhale, palms to face down, little curl of the fingers. As you inhale, palms to face up, mindful, no pressure on the wrists. Exhale, palms to face down, little curl of the fingers. Inhale, palms to face front. Exhale, palm down. Inhale, palm up. Exhale, back to center. Bending at the elbows, bring them close to the body. Shoulder, elbow, wrist in a line. If the arm is turning in, can you bring it out? Wrist, elbow, shoulder in a line. Right palm faces up, make a fist, and the left hand will grab the right forearm. The intention is to keep the forearm steady as you rotate through the wrist. Slower rotations and zero movement through the forearm. Move with your breath. As you inhale, a full rotation. As you exhale, full rotation. Going for 3 full rounds. No 5. Once you've completed, change direction. Beautiful. Once you've completed, release the right arm from the clasp of the left. Left shoulder, elbow, wrist in line, palm faces up, make a fist and grab the left forearm with the right hand now. Keep the forearm nice and steady. 3 rotations in one direction. Move with your breath. Full rotation with the inhale. Full rotation with the exhale. No movement through the forearm. Change the direction. Beautiful. Once you completed 3, release the left arm. Keep the elbow close to the body. Palm to face front, and the right elbow close to the body. Palm to face front. As you inhale, bend at the elbows much as you can. At the top, put the palms to face out. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, raise and bend at the elbow. At the top, put the palm to face you. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, bend at the elbow. At the top, put the palm to face out. Exhale, releasing down. Beautiful. Shoulders and elbows free. Feet wider now. Shoulder distance or wider. Toes pointing straight ahead. The hands will come to rest on your thighs. The intention is movement through the shoulder blade, which will be perceived as the shoulder moving. Gaze is front. Chin is slightly drawn back. Ribs are slightly drawn back. As you inhale, retract your shoulders back. Elevate your shoulders up. As you exhale, front and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, front and down. Keeping the arms straight as best you can. Pause here for a moment. Then as you inhale, elevate up from that point. As you exhale, retract back and down. Inhale, front and up. Exhale, back and down. Shoulders free. Turning to face the long edge of your mat if you haven't already done so. And we'll take our feet to be nice and wide apart. That Utthita Hasta stance, which is about 3.5 to 4 foot. Quite a generous distance. Heels in line, feet parallel. Shorter distance if required. Mindfully applying the wider distance. Sternum is a little back. Extend the arms in front and then halfway down. Moving through the shoulder now. Think bicep moving. The hands will flip, but want the bicep to be moving. Allow the breath to flow as you turn the biceps in opposite directions. Slower, more refined and controlled movement. Any pinching, please take care, never moving into pain. If this particular angle is responding well, maybe this is your point, but if all is responding well, you're out to the side at the same angle downward. Breath flows. Furthermore, you progress it a little further by working towards shoulder height. Beautiful. Super. Both hands to face down. If your shoulders fatigued, you can begin from a point of hands on the thighs. Feels good. Next inhale, flip the right palm. Arm in line with the ear. As you exhale, fold to your left. Fold from the waist. Keep the gaze straight ahead. Inhale smoothly back. Exhale, release the right to shoulder height. Flip the palm. Inhale the left, flip the palm, arm in line with the ear. Exhale, fold to your right. Inhale back. Exhale, release. Inhale the right, flip the palm, arm in line with the ear. Exhale, fold to your left. And be there for a moment if you can. If this is very challenging, arms over the sides of the body. You don't fight your practice, just play. Breathe. Inhale smoothly up. Exhale, release the right. Inhale the left, flip the palm, arm in line with the ear. Ribs are back. Exhale, fold to your right now. Be here. Notice that you're not dropping the head. Encourage strength in your neck, but keeping the head at mid-level as you fold. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back. Exhale, release the left. Release your arms entirely for a moment. A light rolling out of your shoulders in one direction and then the opposite direction. Beautiful. Shoulders free. If your shoulders are feeling fatigued, you can have your hands in your waist and have a soft twist from the waist with the hands located here. If all is well, shoulder height, then bending at the elbow, fingertips a touch. Take an inhale. As you exhale, twist to your right, extend the right arm straight. Gentle twist, gaze to the fingertip. Inhale, center. Exhale to your left. Keep the hip facing front if you can. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right, twist from the waist. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Extend the arms out. Then release the shoulders really one side and then the others. Edge your feet back together, coming to shoulder distance apart, or a little wider, toes pointing ahead. Hands on the hips. But if comfortable, take the hands behind. Clasp opposite wrist, forward elbow. The ribs are down, moving through the head and the neck so you keep the chest steady. So you're not swaying through the torso. Maximum movement just through the head and neck. Any challenge in the neck, please work with smaller rotation. Drop your chin towards your chest. Allow your breath to flow as necessary. With your chin down, allow it to glide past your right collarbone, heading for your right shoulder. From that point, lift your chin up to the point that's best for you without creating discomfort. And continue to draw a circle on the ceiling to your left. Looking for the left shoulder, the chin drops down towards the shoulder, then past the collarbone, base of throat. Continue to your right. Past the left collarbone, base of throat. Reverse directions, glide past the left collarbone, shoulder, lift the chin to your comfortable degree. Note that each side can be different, each direction can elicit a different response. Down past the right collarbone, base of throat, continue to your left. Mindful of dizziness, keep the eyes open, keep breathing. Beautiful. Once you return to base of throat, gaze is front. Then release the hands. Shoulders are free. If you're not already there, I'll encourage you to come towards the front edging of your mat. A foot's distance or so more from the front of your mat. Feet shoulder distance apart or wider. The straight-legged forward fold. Any challenge to the back of the body, please be very mindful of the depth that you fold front with straight legs. If necessary, mild bend in the knees. And when everything's feeling a little steadier and more engaged, working to further depth. Legs straight's the first intention. Hands in the thighs. Push the bum a little back. Hip will be behind the heel. And you notice that this automatic hinge front from the hip line. Often we work from the lumbar region, which isn't entirely incorrect, but repetitively creates a lot of strain. So push the hip back. Work forward from the hip line. Sternum is held back. Then from here, maybe this is your depth. But if it feels good, you can maintain the legs straight. Explore the depth where you can maintain a lengthening lumbar spine. So you can check in as you fold, where is the point that the lower back begins to round. You feel on the upper part of the lower back. Once you've reached your comfortable depth, sternum's drawn back, have your hands bracing on your thighs. Looking at your thighs, your hands are here and they're taking weight. Taking a little weight away from the lower back. Chin is in a mild double chin, so you're not just leaving the head hang. Breathe really well. Beautiful little sway to your right. Keep the legs straight if you're straight, if you were originally straight. If you need to have the knees bent, equally bent. Beautiful glide to your left. Breath is flowing the entire time. Notice the reaction other edge of left hip now perhaps. Keep the spine lengthening, keep the sternum back. Beautiful, inhale back to center. Bend the knees lightly, but as you bend your knees, just like the start of your practice, so your knees point in the direction your toes are dropping into each other, or outward even. Can you connect with that straight lining? Then bend your knees as much as you need to get the tips of your fingers or your palms to the mat. And we're going to bring our knees all the way to the ground, untucking the toes. Walking towards the middle of the back or a little further. The intention here is having your knees as wide as your shoulders, so quite a good distance. Then bring your awareness into your hip. Look at your hip. Hip is directly over the knee, and this is the alignment you want to endeavour to create. This is good here. Keeping the hip over the knee, begin to walk your hands front. If you go beyond your mat, maybe you need to scoot back a little further, little by little by little. Extending your arms front to the point that's comfortable for you. Mind you're not leaving the chest just dropping passively down. keep the ribs drawn in. If your ribs drop passively down, this puts a lot of work in the shoulders. A lot of challenge in the neck. Ribs are drawn back so the rib cage is active. Spread the fingers. If you note that when you're fully extended and you're pushing back, that your hips are going beyond your knees and working towards your heels, then you walk your knees even further back. Create more distance. Spread the fingers. Chin in a mild double chin. Breathe really well. If this is very challenging, please note that you can stack your palms or stack your fists to support your head. Just a few steady breaths. Beautiful. All is well. Take your knees to be as wide as your mat now. Slide your big toes together. Sit on the heels if you can, but you can be elevated upward. Arms remaining extended to the front if that's accessible, and forehead to the mat if necessary. Just like a brief moment ago, you can stack palms or fists and maintain support with the head here. A long and intentional breath. If your arms are extended out in front, you're actively pushing away the mat. And no matter where you are with the arm position, there's a light engagement to the base of the pelvic. As a result, below the navel becomes active. Breathe. Beautiful. Elevating up the head slightly. Extend the arms out in front if they weren't extended. Then raise up on the hands and the knees and readjust your alignment for a few gentle rounds of the Vajraswasa, the tiger breathing, and such variations. The eventual intention is a forearms distance in between the knees, so your elbow to the heel of the palm placed in between your knees. Then a forearms distance between your knees where you place your hands, then elevating up. For some, this angle may be too challenging on the wrist, so you bring your hands front as much as you need to. Don't fight for depth, or play around with making fists if required. No matter what the setup, we'll endeavour to maintain the shoulders in the position they're in, and we'll rotate through the hip. Additionally, as you rotate through the hip, check out with the position of your feet, your toes on the alignment with the knees. So your wrist, your knees, and your toes in a straight line. Beautiful, and changing direction. Super, back to center. Toes can remain untucked, but if it's comfortable, tuck your toes. On your next exhale, bend at the knee. The intention is sitting on the heel. Inhale, back, shoulder over wrist. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, raising up. Exhale, pushing back. Inhale, elevating up. Exhale, pushing back. Beautiful. Inhale, elevating up. Untucking your toes. Note that rest is welcome at any moment. If all feels well, a few gentle rounds of tiger breathing. Thinking the head is the last thing to move. As you inhale, arch through the lower back, the middle back. Draw the shoulder blade down towards the hip. Upper back, light, lift the head. As you exhale, around the lower back, middle back, upper back. Then release the head. Inhale, arch. Exhale round, feeling each and every vertebrae. Often we habitually hinge on the same vertebrae. Inhale, feel your lower, middle, upper, likely head. Exhale, lower, middle, upper. Release the head and around the spine and maintain it there for a brief moment if you can. Push away the mat. Note that if your shoulders are after swaying back towards your hips, towards your knees, can you bring your shoulder back over your wrist? Beautiful. Next inhale back to an easy spine. Allow the belly to drop a little. The intention is getting a little twisted with threading the needle. Recognize where your ribs are. If you're along your chest and your ribs are dropped down towards the mat, a lot of challenge in your shoulder, and likewise in the lower back. Keep the rib cage stable by slightly drawing it up into what is actually a neutral position. This is good here. We'll mindfully apply. Any challenge in the shoulder, you work a little easier. If it feels good, as you inhale, extend the right arm up. Maybe you look to the hand. As you exhale, you begin to tread the right underneath the left. For a brief moment, bring your right wrist behind the left wrist and ground the elbow to forearm. You can be here. Little practice, however. Keep the rib cage drawn up. And slowly continue to thread through. The eventual intention is the right side of the head lightly resting and the shoulder to the fingertips grounding. But please don't fight to be here. Keep the rib cage drawn back. If the ribs are dropped and your head is resting, you can feel a lot of pressure on your head, a lot of pressure on your neck. Keep the ribs slightly drawn. There should be no pressure on your neck. Left palm is lightly pressurized into the mat. You're breathing. Beautiful. Pressurize the left hand as you inhale and thread the right. Ground the hand immediately, but if it feels good, you can extend it up. And as you exhale, ground the right. Ribs are drawn up slightly. Working with the left. Each side can be different. Taking care. Inhale. Raising the left up. Exhale. Threading it through. Left wrist behind the right for a moment. Ground your elbow. Be here. Feels good. Continue with this lining. Left side of the head eventually resting with the intention. But keep the ribs drawn back. I know this may be a challenging concept, but little by little you build, maintaining the ribs stable. So in this essence, the core is beginning to come active and work as one. Breathe, feel. Beautiful. Pressurize the left palm. Ribs are still lightly drawn up. Ground the palm or extend it up. Exhale, ground the left. Spread out the fingers. Awareness into your shoulders. You want to keep the palms where they are, but we want to internally and externally rotate through the shoulders. This can be perceived as turning the elbow point outward and turning the point of the elbow back towards the knees. Or likewise, the elbow pits turning in and turning forward. Keep the hands where they are. Ribs are drawn a little up. Going for a few rounds, allow the breath to flow of internally rotating, so turning the bicep in, turning the bicep out, working with straight arms as best you can. On your last round, we'll endeavour to have the point of the elbows pointing back, the elbow pits point front, but just work towards, don't fight. Ribs are slightly drawn up. And this is good as you exhale without bending at the elbows. Allow your chest to drop down between your shoulders. Experience shoulder blades work toward each other. As you inhale, gently push out. Exhale, you can allow your head to drop if necessary. Inhale, pushing out. Exhale, where your elbows pointing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly push out. Gaze slightly front. You're welcome to come back in whichever way is necessary for you. Little practice, cross the legs over. And smoothly sit back, but be mindful of your ankle, your knee, your hip. Come to a seated position in whichever way is necessary for you. And adopting an appropriate variation. Sukhasana if comfortable, where one leg comes in, almost 90 degree, parallel to the edging of your mat. And the other leg comes in, intending to tuck the heel under the shin bone or the calf muscle. If this is challenging or very uncomfortable, maintain if you have a block or something that you can elevate the hips up, you're welcome to do so. Spine is lifted. Excuse me. Sit as tall as you can. Allow the hands rest to the knees. If necessary, you can have hand support behind. Maybe you're leaning away for a brief moment. That feels good, you're here. But please don't fight. Below the navel is active. Breathe and lift your spine. Chin is slightly back. Beautiful. Feels good here. Endeavour to keep the spine central. Take your right hand to your right side and behind and hook the left hand over the thigh. As you inhale, sit tall, but keep your ribs back. As you exhale, twist to your right and if comfortable, the gaze follows. Recognize if you're dropping your head back. Keep the head in a steady position in a mild double chin. Mid-level is the gaze. Breathe and twist. Not using much support of the arms to deepen the twist. Using more the core muscle through the waist. Softly bring the torso around. Next inhale, come halfway back. So the intention is your breastbone, center of the chest, looking at your right knee. If it's comfortable, keep the hands in the position they're in. and fold in the direction of your right knee. But keep the gaze beyond the knee if you can. Inhale smoothly up through the center. Next exhale, you're using the core muscle to smoothly twist to your left. The left hand left side and behind, and the right hand hooks over to maintain the position. Shoulders are relaxed and the gaze is the last thing to follow. Be there. Each side can be different, you're not fighting for equal depth. Inhale, coming halfway back, you're thinking your breastbone, looking at the left knee, and as best you can as you exhale, fold in the direction of the left knee. But only to the point that you can keep the outer edge of the right buttock muscle grounded. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back, coming all the way up. Unraveling your legs, extend your legs out in front. If you have any challenge in the back of the body, perhaps you take your legs just as wide as your mat and you can work with bent knees. Further practice straighter legs and you can explore which depth is accessible and comfortable for you. Taking the hands behind, heel of the palm, close to the bum as best you can with the forearms almost pressing against the middle to lower back, shoulders rolling. If necessary, walk the hands as you need to away and lean the torso away from the hips. Just be here for a moment. It's beautiful work in itself, just maintaining. Look, recognizing where the feet are they dropping out to the side? Are you pointing your feet? Can you have your toes draw back towards you? Heels push away and the toes also point up towards the ceiling. Shoulders lightly roll. Chin is a little back. Steady back. Beautiful. Take your hands front and behind your knees, help with a bend in the knees, cross the legs over. Turning towards the short edge of your mat if you're not already there. Mindful if there's anything solid behind you as you gently rock back, chin towards the chest. Smoothly coming onto your back. Unraveling your legs if they were crossed and a light rolling side to side. Just a gentle rolling. Chin in a mild double chin. Come to rest with your rolling, take your knees to be shoulder distance apart as well as the feet, then welcome them to the mat. Hands down the side of the body, heels into almost stand on the fingertips. They just about greet each other. Pressurize the feet into the mat. Chin in a mild double chin. The ribs are down for a moment. As you inhale, push the hip. Feel that's your lower back to elevate first, then experiencing your middle back, and then experiencing your upper back as part of your practice and no compromise to the neck. As you exhale, roll down, upper, middle, and lower back. Inhale, pressurize your feet, engage the lower body, push the lower, middle, upper. Exhale, rolling down, upper, middle, lower. Inhale, push the hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, push the hip. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Smoothly come down. Take the time once you've grounded feet together, toes and heels to touch. Raise the right leg up if that's comfortable and place the right thigh on top of the left. Hook it all the way over. Arms to cactus arms if that is accessible for you. Elbows to shoulder in a line. 90 degrees between the forearm and the upper arm. This is good. Next exhale, drop your knees to your right. Comfortable for the neck, gaze to your left. Only dropping your knees to the point that you keep the back of the left shoulder connected. Breathe. Inhale, center. Exhale, unraveling the right leg. Raise the left leg up. Hook it over. Thigh on thigh as best you can. Next exhale, knees to your left. Comfortable for your neck, gaze to your right. Any pressure on the neck, keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Next inhale back to center. As you exhale, unravel the legs, bring the feet together, then allow your knees to drop out to either side. So soles of the feet come together. Allow the hands to come to the belly, or hands out to either side, down slightly downward. Eyes closed. As you come to the end of the practice, we'll endeavour to maintain the Supta, Baddha Konasana, so the reclined cobbler's pose, with the knees dropping out. But if it becomes too demanding, you feel like there's a lot of work on the hip, or particularly around the lower back or the knee, ground the soles of the feet or adopt any variation of Shavasana. Feels good, you're here. Eyes closed. Mouth closed. Allow the breath to flow at its own natural rhythm. As you come to the end of your practice, just a few brief moments in Shavasana. Coming to the end of your practice, you're endeavouring to be completely effortless both in the physical body and the mind, and absorbing any changes that may have been created, brought about by our practice. And within this freedom, release the weight of your body, allow the knees to drop out further. Release the worry and any thoughts, conversations, or narratives that occupy your mind that don't serve you. Release them all into the earth. Within this beautiful release, you softly allow your awareness to fall on your breath as it moves up the front of the body with the inhale and descends the back of the body on the exhale. And the breath changes direction, inhaling up the back and exhaling down the front. And on the descent of the next exhale, as your awareness begins its journey with the breath down the front of the body, travel down through the front of the body and the whole of the body, noticing how body feels through crown of head, eyes, jaw, neck, shoulders, elbows, palms, fingers, chest, ribs, belly, spine, thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, toes, whole body. Become aware of the whole body. Whole body is still, and the whole of the body is rested. You be there for a moment. Be with the rest. Whole the body is still. Whole the body is rested. And as you allow the body to remain within the stillness, as you begin to softly extend your awareness greater than the body, as it filters and diffuses into the room around you, begin to softly stir the body, the fingers and the toes. Softly, if your knees are still out to the side, the hand support helping with care to come together around the feet. Extend the right arm up and over, the right leg is straight and the left hand comes to the belly. Gently roll onto your right side. Little hand support when you feel comfortable, push up, eyes closed. And coming to the end of your practice, you take a moment to note any difference at the beginning of your practice. Gently bring your palms together, rubbing the palms, create a little heat. Placing the hands over the eyes, gently cup. And extend a massage, throat to face, eyes, nose, cheekbone, the temple. Taking the hands a small distance away from the eyes. And gently blink the eyes open, gaze into the palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. I hope you had a good practice. Hope the rest of your day goes well. And I look forward to connecting with you in your next practice, whether that'll be online or if that'll be in a in-person class. Thank you so much.